In any garden, so much of the real magic happens out of sight. We fuss over leaves and flowers, but the true engine room is the soil beneath our feet. It is not just dirt, it is a teeming, vibrant community of life. Down in the dark, a vast and intricate network of microscopic threads is working tirelessly. These are the mycorrhizal fungi, the garden's unsung heroes. They are a secret army, a hidden web that connects almost everything that grows. For too long, we gardeners have overlooked this vital world, focusing only on what we can see above the ground. But understanding this subterranean life is the key to unlocking your garden's full potential. These fungi are not like the mushrooms you might see popping up on a damp lawn, though they are related. Their work is far more subtle and widespread. Imagine a web, finer than a spider's silk, stretching for miles and miles through the soil. This is the mycelium, the main body of the fungus. It is an extraordinary information and nutrient highway. This network explores the soil far more effectively than plant roots ever could on their own, reaching into tiny crevices and unlocking pockets of food and water that would otherwise be inaccessible. It is a living, breathing system that supports the entire garden ecosystem, a foundational layer of life that we must learn to nurture. A healthy soil is absolutely brimming with this fungal life. It is what gives good soil that wonderful, crumbly structure and that rich, earthy smell we all love. When you dig into a well-maintained border, you are delving into this thriving metropolis. However, in many modern gardens, this delicate network has been damaged or even destroyed. Years of heavy digging, walking on wet soil, or the routine use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides can break these fungal threads apart. This leaves the soil compacted, lifeless, and unable to support robust plant growth. The good news is that we can help it recover. The first step towards a truly healthy garden is to start thinking like a soil keeper, not just a plant grower. Our job is to encourage and protect this underground workforce. By changing a few of our habits, we can invite these beneficial fungi back into our gardens and help them thrive. It means less disturbance, more organic matter, and a gentler approach all round. It is a shift in mindset, moving away from fighting nature and towards working with it. The rewards are not just healthier plants, but a more resilient and beautiful garden that is truly alive from the ground up. The relationship between mycorrhizal fungi and plant roots is one of nature's most brilliant partnerships. It is a simple, ancient trade that benefits both sides immensely. The fungi cannot produce their own food through photosynthesis, as they have no leaves and live in the dark. So, they connect their fine threads, called hyphae, directly to the roots of a plant. In exchange for extending the plant's reach, the fungi receive a steady supply of sugars and carbohydrates, energy that the plant creates from sunlight. It is a perfect symbiotic relationship, a beautiful example of cooperation in the natural world which we can foster in our own plots. This connection dramatically expands a plant's ability to find what it needs to grow. A plant's own root system is quite limited in its reach, but once the mycorrhizal network attaches, it is like giving the plant a super-sized, super-efficient extension. The fungal threads are incredibly fine, hundreds of times thinner than the smallest plant rootlet. They can snake their way through the tiniest soil pores, unlocking vital nutrients like phosphorus and nitrogen that are often chemically locked up in the soil. The fungi effectively digest these minerals, making them available in a form the plant can easily absorb. This means stronger, healthier, and more resilient plants. Beyond simply fetching food and water, this fungal network provides other crucial benefits. It helps to bind soil particles together, creating a stable, airy structure that resists compaction and erosion. This improved structure allows water to drain freely while also holding onto moisture where it is needed, reducing the need for constant watering. The network also acts as a communication system, allowing plants to send chemical signals to one another, perhaps to warn of pest attacks. It is a truly interconnected community where the fungi act as the essential messengers and providers for all their plant partners. A garden with a thriving mycorrhizal network is simply a more robust place. Plants are better equipped to handle periods of drought because the fungal web can source water from a much larger volume of soil. They are also more resistant to soil-borne diseases, as the beneficial fungi can outcompete and ward off harmful pathogens. By nurturing this relationship, we are not just feeding our plants, we are building a complex, self-sustaining ecosystem that takes care of itself. It is the very foundation of organic, sustainable gardening and the secret to growing with nature, not against it. Now, how do we give this hidden world a helping hand? One of the simplest and most effective ways is with a special brew, a compost and sugar drench. This is not a fertilizer in the conventional sense. Instead, think of it as a probiotic tonic for your soil, a liquid feast designed to wake up and feed the billions of microbes, including our mycorrhizal fungi. The recipe is wonderfully simple. All you need is some good quality, well-rotted compost, a bit of sugar, and water. The compost provides a diverse population of beneficial microorganisms, while the sugar gives them an immediate burst of energy to get to work. Making this drench is a straightforward and rewarding task. You will need a bucket, some water. Rainwater is best, but tap water left to stand for 24 hours will do, a handful of your best homemade compost, and a spoonful of unsulfured molasses or simple brown sugar. The sugar is the activator. It provides a quick carbon source that stimulates a population boom among the bacteria and fungi present in the compost. You simply mix these ingredients together in the bucket. For an even more potent brew, you can add an aquarium air pump to bubble air through the mixture for a day, which encourages the beneficial aerobic microbes to multiply exponentially. This simple drench works by repopulating the soil with life. When you pour it onto your garden beds, you are introducing a huge diversity of bacteria, fungi, and other microorganisms. The sugary water gives them the fuel they need to establish themselves quickly. The mycorrhizal fungi already present in the soil, or those you have introduced, will thrive on this boost. This process rapidly improves soil structure and nutrient cycling. It is a way of jump-starting the natural processes that have been slowed by digging or lack of organic matter, bringing your soil back to life in a remarkably short space of time. For gardens with particularly poor, depleted, or compacted soil, you can enhance this method further. Before applying your compost tea drench, you can introduce a commercial mycorrhizal inoculant. These powders contain dormant fungal spores. You can work a small amount into the planting hole when putting in new plants or lightly fork it into the surface of the soil in existing beds. Following this with your homemade drench will provide the perfect conditions for these new fungi to germinate and form partnerships with your plant's roots, accelerating the regeneration of your soil's living web. After applying your compost tea drench, the changes might be subtle at first, but they will be profound. The first thing you may notice is an improvement in the soil itself. It will start to feel softer and more crumbly, with a richer, darker color. This is a sign that the microbes are building structure, gluing soil particles into aggregates. This tilth is the holy grail for gardeners. It means better drainage in wet weather and better moisture retention during dry spells. You are essentially creating a living sponge that holds on to what your plants need, right where they need it, at the roots. Your plants will soon show the benefits too. You should see more vigorous, healthy growth. Leaves may appear a deeper green, and the plants will generally look more robust and less stressed. Because they are getting a more balanced and readily available diet of nutrients from their fungal partners, they will be stronger. This increased resilience means they will be better able to withstand attacks from pests and diseases without the need for chemical sprays. You are building health from the ground up, creating plants that can largely look after themselves. This is the goal of sustainable gardening. To get the best results, it is important to avoid a few common mistakes. The first is overdoing it. A little goes a long way. Apply the drench perhaps once in spring to wake the soil up, and maybe once more in midsummer for a boost. Using too much sugar can cause the wrong kind of microbial bloom. Secondly, you must stop using chemical fertilizers, which are salts that dehydrate and kill fungi. And finally, disturb the soil as little as possible. Practices like no-dig gardening and applying a thick layer of organic mulch create the perfect, undisturbed, moist, and dark environment for the fungal network to flourish. Ultimately, embracing this natural approach is about fostering a partnership with your garden. It is more rewarding and far more sustainable than the chemical route, which often creates a cycle of dependency. By feeding the soil, not the plant, you are building a resilient, self-sufficient ecosystem. Your garden will become a healthier place for your plants, for wildlife, and for you. So, get brewing. Your soil is hungry, and a world of hidden helpers is waiting for you to unlock its power. It is a small effort for a truly magnificent reward.